Hello friends, here we are going to discuss detection of AM wave or demodulation of double sideband full carrier. In a last video lecture we have discussed about generation of double sideband full carrier or modulation of AM wave. So we can say that demodulation is exactly opposite to the modulation process. In demodulation process, a message signal is extracted or recovered from a standard AM or double sideband full carrier at the receiver side. In time domain, the standard AM is in the form of envelope. So the detector or demodulator at the receiver side is called envelope detector. In envelope detector, we again use a diode, but in this case we call it rectifier diode. And the input of this detector is standard AM in the form of envelope. We call it as function of T. That is connected with series resistance. The output of rectifier diode is connected with RC filter and it is a type of low pass filter. So after rectification and filtering, we get a recovered modulating signal that is called message signal. Now, as shown in figure, the input of the envelope detector is standard AM, that is double sideband full carrier, and in time domain this is in the form of envelope. This envelope has positive portion as well as negative portion. After rectification we get only a positive portion of the envelope at point B dash, and corresponding voltage at this point is shown in figure. On the basis of operation, the standard AM or double sideband full carrier is applied to the input of the detector. In every positive half cycle of the input, the diode detector or rectifier diode is forward bias, so that the capacitor C is charged to the peak value of the input voltage. As soon as the capacitor is charged to the peak value, the diode stops conducting, and this charged capacitor goes discharged across load resistance until the next positive half cycle of the input wave. And this process repeats for every continuous wave at point B dash. The charging and discharging of a capacitor depend upon a time constant, that is R into C. Here R is load resistance. So here we consider a three case for time constant. In first case we consider RC time constant is small value. In second case we consider large value of time constant, and in third case we consider a medium value of RC time constant. Now we discuss first case, that is RC time constant is small. Here we consider a waveform at point B dash. Here there are all positive half cycle. For the first positive half cycle, the capacitor is charged up to a peak point and get discharged until the next positive half cycle. As in this case the time constant is small, so the capacitor discharges very instantaneously, and therefore there creates a diagonal clipping that is undesirable for our demodulation process. So when we consider a very small value of RC time constant, there occur a diagonal clipping. In this, the capacitor discharge almost instantaneously, and this diagonal clipping is undesirable. So we cannot use a time constant of very small value. In second case, we consider very large time constant. Here again we consider voltage at point B dash and all having a positive half cycle. When the time constant is very large, the capacitor discharge very slowly. Initially, for a first positive half cycle, the capacitor charges up to a peak value, but it discharges very slowly because we consider a large time constant. So in this case, there occur a negative peak clipping of the signal. that is also undesirable operation. And the output voltage does not follow the envelope of the composite signal or message signal. And in the third case, we consider a medium RC time constant. When we consider a medium time constant, the output voltage follows very closely the envelope of the message signal and the desired modulating signal is obtained. And our next task is the selection of RC time constant. As we have discussed, the time constant should not be very small, very large, but it should be a medium value. So what is the medium value? So there is a selection of RC time constant. For this, we consider an ideal diode, and when the diode is in forward bias region, it offers a finite resistance to current flow, that is denoted by small r suffix f, and when the diode is in reverse bias region, it offers a infinite resistance, so there is no current flow. Or we can say that the diode acts as a switching device. Now, to determine the charging time constant, we consider input of the envelope detector. At the input, there is a series resistance, that is capital R suffix S, and during charging, the diode is in forward bias regions and it offers a forward resistance. So the charging time constant is denoted by within bracket small r suffix f plus capital R suffix S into C, and this time constant should be less than the carrier period. Here the carrier period is indicated in terms of carrier frequency, that is 1 upon Fc. So when the diode is in conducting region, the capacitor C charges very rapidly and it follows the voltage up to a positive peak. Or we can say that during charging, the time constant should be less than 1 upon Fc. And during discharging, the time constant is R suffix L into C. Here RL is the load resistance. And the value of this discharging time constant should be large so that the capacitor discharges very slowly and it follows the envelope of the composite signal or message signal. But the value of this discharging time constant should not be so large as the capacitor voltage will not discharge at the maximum rate. So the value of discharging time constant should be less than 1 upon W, where W is called a message bandwidth. Or we can say that the value of discharging time constant, that is R L into C, should be greater than 1 upon Fc and less than 1 upon W. And after the proper selection of a charging time constant and discharging time constant, we get the output that is nearly the same as envelope of the AM wave and corresponds the message signal or modulating signal.